We don't have a lot of time. Okay, so I'm just going to set these up and let you talk. If you could do this in 15 minutes, that would be awesome. I already have warned your teachers that you might be late for fourth block, so we're not going to rush it too much. But I'm going to let you do what you can. If you could wrap it up in 15 or less, that would be awesome. Go ahead and start talking while I get this going.
Let's see where I'm at right now.
Any bailiffs?
We can just do it, since it's not an official vote, we can just do it by hand kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, sure it is.
Okay, so all who believe that he's guilty of first-degree homicide. Okay, and then all believe he's guilty of second-degree homicide. All who believe that he's not guilty at all. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty split right now. Do we want to start by talking about prosecution witness 1, Lane Smith?
Yeah, we can start with Lane Smith.
Okay. So from what I heard two conflicting things about Lane Smith. In the defense's closing argument, they said that he was above the legal limit, and then in his, he said he only had 2 drinks, and he was like below it. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of confusing to me. I don't know what anybody else thought.
He said that he's gotten to the permit successfully that way before.
Right.
Like through the window and things were happening.
Before we go too far in, like, it's not a super big deal. I believe his name was Wayne, not Lane.
No, it's
Lane.
Lane.
It's Lane.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So, Gage, why did you believe he wasn't?
Because based off all of this stuff, there were so many holes that basically there'd be a prosecution witness, and then someone would go to cross-examine and just fill up or encounter the holes that were in their testimony or affidavit.
The main holes that I saw was like people were like confused about when the light turned on, but it said that there was like a porch light that the neighbors
Across
had.
the street
So
or
that should
outside
totally
there.
legitimize all the speculation.
But
on
listen,
when it turned
so if the
on.
porch light's on the outside of the house, and he's coming in,
Mhm.
and you like, let's say you're trying to light behind me, you're not going to see my face.
But he did say that he recognized that
He was wearing the
He's
jacket
just-
because
but
it was shining
but
on
then
his shoulders on the
But
light.
then he like conflicted himself because when I think
So
Javon
many
said
holes,
they all forgot what they were saying. It felt like every single witness forgot at least something
Yes,
they were
the
supposed to
largest
say.
hole, the
So I think
holes
that-
were like the times, so like.
Yeah,
oh,
that was bad.
You see home at midnight?
10:30.
This is 10:30. Yeah, this is 1.
And another
That's
thing
terrible.
with Barry Allen was he like said the thing that Dallas was shot in the bedroom rather than the bathroom. That's
Yeah,
super
that's
suspicious.
contradictory.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
weird.
I
One,
wrote
because
down,
it just
yeah.
feels like both of them are jealous, both of them, like, he's a shining star, he's got this bright future, all this, and, like, both of them just kind of, like, were conspiring in the dark, kind of waiting for him to come home. I felt like it was almost like they were using the dark as, like, this constant, like, go back to, like, hiding spot where it was, like, oh, it was dark, I mean, I don't know what to do.
The part that I don't get though, like they saw his shirt, so like kind of what they said, shouldn't you be able to see his face then too?
If the light's shining behind him and it's dark behind, if it's dark in the room, and the light's shining behind you, right?
But then would he not be able to see his shirt either?
No, because it's shining. You ever seen this thing?
But like,
Were they also
if I saw you in the dark, I'd recognize your hair, but I'd know, oh, that's
yeah, would they
Gage's
recognize like
probably,
the,
Yeah.
would they
Okay,
recognize like his
but he's
build
wearing
and
a jacket.
stuff? Like,
And I mean, they
didn't say he's
said
got a
they
specific
met
build or
in their first year of law school, now they're in their
In the
third
third
year.
year.
So they've known each other for
You know, I
long,
feel
a
like
long
that's
time,
enough.
and they live together, so they know.
But he also didn't say anything.
I think
He
Okay,
did reach into his pocket.
another
That
part
was
of
not-
the thing, yeah,
that
he
was
did
not-
reach into his pocket that.
That's
And it's
like
just
what?
so weird that he didn't say anything, he just reached into his
Because
pocket.
like if you
That's-
just go like the
They
like
just
in
don't
But,
the
know.
okay,
They
sorry,
don't know,
so can
but
I-
a little suspicious.
It's
Can I
a
get
little-
clarification? Did he say no before he was shot, or no?
No,
like,
that's
because he
that,
was
that's
down?
There was
that's
another
another hole.
Because if
yeah.
he said no before he was shot, they should be able to recognize his voice. In my opinion, you like.
because like
If you're,
I recognize
if
some
you're
of my
yelling
friends'
while
voices.
they're shooting, you probably still hear it anyways.
in the first
Wait. Didn't
They
Wait,
contradicted themselves.
They
No,
were
stop.
Yeah.
So when they were saying no, I thought one of the lawyers said that Jamie was saying no while after the shots because he realized
that
that he
lawyer
shot.
said after everything happened.
Then he was saying no?
Yeah,
So then-
he said no, like he realized it was him. That's
Yeah,
what
so
he
the
said.
no, so when a couple of the witnesses said they heard someone saying no, that sounded like Dallas Lawson.
But they weren't sure.
There was
They
So
weren't sure.
Casey, the upstairs neighbor, said no, no, and then heard gunshots. So according to her, the no came before the gunshots, but then it was also contradicting. I believe it was Jamie Covington that said.
Can I kind of
Yeah,
wheel
but
this around?
Casey was also the one that was messing up the time, so, in the...
Yeah.
We need to make this a little more focused. I think we need to go through each witness.
Yeah.
So that was good, but okay, let's move on to prosecution witness 2, Casey Cram. So this is the dude upstairs who.
Drinking energy drinks, doing schoolwork.
No, that was
this
John.
is
That's
John.
John.
Yeah,
This
This
Oh.
is the one who was working and came.
Oh, from
Yeah.
Jimmy John's. From Jimmy John's.
that seems like a lot to me. I mean, you don't just when you get off of work, you
An
know
hour and a
the
half. You
time,
know what
what
time
time
you're
it
in.
is. You're
Yeah.
paid to be there for a certain amount of time. So I don't understand why he
Well,
wouldn't know when he got home.
What I didn't understand either was how each of their witnesses said something bad about Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody saw Jamie as this like extremely just.
But then when Jamie explained himself, it was because of the situation with the rumors. That's why he checked. No, that's not.
It was the burglars.
Because
The
he,
burglars,
yeah, he
yeah.
was
He
worried
was
about the safety of
also
his home.
like kind
Yeah.
of, I guess they labeled him as paranoid because one of his roommates like was literally selling like prescription
Yeah,
drugs.
Yeah.
that's a good reason to have a gun on you.
I do believe it's good reason.
And-
But
but
not,
it
not
wasn't-
where it was
That's
put.
that's not the, yeah, that's a horrible
Yeah,
spot to
who-
have.
who
You should
said
have
it
it
under
your
pillow?
He
pillow.
had a gun safe.
Yeah,
he
Ron-
could've
was
had
it
the gun
Ronnie
in.
that
That's
said?
why it feels.
Yeah.
like-
Yeah,
Ronnie
the
said he
police
had a gun
officer
safe.
said
It was
he
like,
had a gun
yeah,
safe
I
under
was
his
And where
house.
it's like, why would it be under his pillow if he has this whole gun safe? And I mean, I get that he took the lessons for it and whatever because he was paranoid like
Yeah.
that.
But then he did also state his training while the incident was occurring.
Yeah.
So that's
But right under your pillow, like,
Yeah,
you
that's
have a gun
little
safe.
weird.
okay.
And the whole-
If you think about the
If he's
situation,
trained,
no.
won't they talk about like where he
Yeah.
should store it and
Okay,
how
so
to
if we
store
put-
it?
if we put this into perspective, my dad owns a gun, right?
Right.
It's literally on the nightstand. You pull it out, you press the buttons, and it pops open with the gun, right? It's almost the same amount of time if you're rushing to that gun safe as you were to pull out it from the pillow.
It's just in the drawer.
Yeah, but it might give
It's
you more.
just in
It
that
might,
drawer.
it might give
That's-
you more time to think about like what actions you're making.
But
be
how-
if you
how
put
it
in
could
this,
affect
if you
you.
put in the situation that a burglar might be coming into your house, you're grabbing the gun anyway because you still don't know. You're not thinking of it. You're thinking of grabbing the gun.
But that's different though. You're talking about having it in a drawer
In a
rather than
spot
like on a couch,
where it's secure.
like
You
under
said
a
press
pillow
over
or
or
something.
Yeah, that's
what
like
if you
like
sit
is
on
it
it
like
and you're
is it like a keypad that you type in like a password?
No,
you know,
a
or-
lot of them have keys on the top where you just go like
Yeah,
this.
but then,
But you have to
that's
have a
the
key,
thinking
correct?
part where you
Yeah.
have to think about,
Yeah.
you're getting your gun, you're gonna think about what you're gonna do. They just said, oh, he grabbed the Glock from, or she, whatever, under the pillow.
But I'm just
and-
saying it's about the same amount of time.
Yes, but
It is the same There's more amount of time, but thinking
there's
it's
more
involved.
thinking
Yeah.
involved. Oh, I gotta
Yeah.
get the key from
Oh, yeah.
wherever. If it's on the nightstand, I gotta put it
Whereas
in and
otherwise
turn
you
it
just
before I
go,
grab the
"Yoink,
gun.
it's under the pillow."
And also with what Casey said, just to reroute this again, but he said like, if it's you, I'm going to kill you. Casey heard Covington say that.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Is what I had. As
Which
him hearing.
is like, especially at that like level, at that shouting and at that level of competition, like you don't just like,
Say I'm gonna kill you.
yeah, nobody in their right mind would just be like, I'm gonna kill you, you know?
Yeah.
Like there has to be something wrong with that, and then Covington's was in his own statement, he talked about how he was jealous and like paranoid that he was like after him the whole time.
And when they were talking, Casey and Jamie were talking, she said, you know, she knew he was sabotaging him
Yeah.
and all that.
Kind of what you were going off of what you said, like in more of a like typical situation, like kind of using the word like kill could be seen as like less literally, but then when you hear that and like
Yeah.
pretty soon after, like someone ends up
It's
dead,
direct.
it's a little eye raising, I
Yeah.
guess.
One thing that I thought was good on the side of the prosecution, they all stated that it was like 3 or more bullets. Like they said it was 3 or 4, maybe more. And then the detective Ronnie Kopp stated that there was 5. So I mean those kind of lined up.
Yeah, and when you look at first and second degree says stuff about not, like,
So we should probably make a
It says,
difference.
there's a sheet in your.
Well, first degree is like, he, or
And
he
he
like thought about
intended
it.
to,
So he
and had
caused
a
the
re- he had
death.
motive.
We all know
Yeah.
it caused the death.
Yeah, and in second degree, so he definitely caused the death.
But
and
he did not have the intent.
But that's
We're
where,
not
that's
sure.
where the
But we
question
don't
is,
know,
because then
yeah.
you can go to second
That's
degree.
what we're questioning.
15 million.
And it says, but if you think about intent to kill, like, if you shoot 5 shots, no
You're
matter,
intending to kill somebody.
no matter where those
The
bullets
one
go,
thing
I
also,
bet you're gonna
the
kill
one
that
thing
person.
also said like he shot him until he like saw him fall down. Remember that
Yeah,
one
but
thing?
5 shots is a lot.
It is
Exactly.
a
But-
little excessive.
How, do we know how, if they were, like, if he was a big person?
No.
We don't-
It
we
wasn't
always
specified,
feel
No, it wasn't.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I was-
Yeah, that would make more
Yeah,
sense.
because if
it
he was a
like
huge
big
person,
dude.
it's gonna take more to bring him
I
down.
think I heard the bell just ring, so let's continue on prosecution
Yeah,
witness 3.
yeah,
Ronnie Cop,
yeah, we're
okay? For me, it was hard to believe this witness specifically, just because like he did have so many positives, or like you guys were saying.
Oh,
all the
yeah, he
witnesses
forgot.
forgot what they were
He
saying.
forgot.
Yeah, you did.
Things that I kind of like
Like,
scarred.
And then Ronnie
who went and cross-examined Ronnie Cott?
Ronnie also was the person who got,
Curtis did that.
Ronnie was also the person who got like all of his information from
the retired
Winchester,
officer.
yeah, the retired guy.
Well, and why
But
was he
I don't
there?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why
he's
was he
retired.
even there
Yeah,
in the first
because he was
place?
there,
And he's
but I don't-
retired.
But the point that Curtis made, I don't think it's a valid point. Like the one where he made a lawyer joke. We all make jokes.
Yeah.
I don't-
I didn't take that as
No,
much.
okay.
Yeah.
And I also didn't take the whole like, oh, he was retired, he should be retired, he messed it up. Like, I don't think that's really.
Wait,
what it
Curtis
is.
said
I just don't think he should be there. I don't know if he messed it up.
Yeah, I don't know.
5 minutes.
We definitely have more time than that. So, you know,
So have you
they
been
don't get a pick.
Have you been convinced of guilty of like of second degree, or are you
I'm
still
not
not guilty?
There's just so many things. I'm not just saying he's not guilty. He could have done it. But there's so many holes that
Yeah.
makes it so we can't put him in the place of where he's guilty.
Well, it's
Because that's what
Yeah,
we're trying to decide here.
Yeah, it's
But I
just
feel
Not,
like-
he's not guilty, not guilty.
I
Just
feel like
doubt.
there's a lot
If
of.
there's any doubt, you can't convict him.
I don't know, I feel like-
and all twists.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
It's
things.
not as clear cut.
It isn't, especially because like it was dark and they've already had a lot of I don't know if I can say a lot, but break-ins in the building, and that the fact that like there's deadly force with a gun.
One thing that kind of confused me is when Jamie Covington or Javante, he said there's break-ins in the past on the floor below him.
Yeah. But isn't he
But
from
then-
number 1?
He's on the first
Did you
floor.
guys
That's why I
also
was
notice?
confused.
Yeah, I don't know if I was just being picky, but they said that Casey lived like above them.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey said he didn't really know Dallas, but when he walked pads, like
He'd
he would
always
say
say hi to
hi.
everyone.
But like, when would that like really occur?
I get that
When
because
you-
like the when you're
They're heading out
leaving
the
the
door.
building.
Okay,
Right.
or like,
Oh,
okay,
I get
yeah,
that.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
I get
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
and
so-
also with that, like Casey kind of only knew Covington really, and he like did provide like evidence where it was like,
So he might not be as biased because he
Yeah.
didn't really know them.
yeah, he
is
didn't
what you're
really know
saying,
them. He
right?
was just acquainted.
The only thing that he
He
was
just
like,
hears stuff.
Yeah.
the only thing he kind of messed up in his like when they're asking questions was like timed things,
Yeah.
but otherwise
Yes.
he
Yeah.
knew what he was talking about. It sounded like we already did Ronnie, so then we go to Javante or Jamie Covington.
Yeah.
He definitely contradicted himself a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah,
He
that's a bunch of
At
He
the end when he-
struck me as just kind of like a confusing man. Like he was very paranoid about the whole like
Or-
Bob along thing.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like honest, like the way fucking Katie Palmer was yelling.
Katie was yelling.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't
And
focus
it's hard to
and think about what
understand,
you're
like-
saying when you're yelling.
Yes, I agree.
And it's like
But and the,
He did
when-
kind of. Was that the one where he contradicted himself at the end and said like it was kind of
the
premeditated?
affidavit was before.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah,
really
that
weird.
was.
I
weird.
don't know.
Can somebody clarify that? 'Cause
I don't,
got
I
confused.
honestly-
well, then why
What
would
he
she ask
said-
that question?
It was
I don't
What-
understand what happened.
What
That's why I need
Jamie
clarification.
said and what he agreed to was that he said that he like shot him and he was afraid there was an intruder and all that. He said that before this event occurred. That's what Jamie agreed to.
I'm confused.
I'm
though.
assuming
I'm
that
confused.
this was a mix-up, but I can't take that as fact.
No, what it looked like, if you looked at Devontae, like I get this way too, but it looked like the way she was literally yelling at him 2 feet away from his face. I would get really mad and I would just start saying random stuff because I would want you to
Well,
get
yeah,
that
but
out of my
it's his
face.
story.
He
like,
still had to know what he
Yeah,
was.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
still,
it's-
it's like,
It doesn't
there was
matter
a
if
lot.
she's yelling at
It
him.
doesn't
there's a lot
matter
that
if
factors
like-
in.
Yeah, but like
lot
in
of
my
bad things
opinion,
about
I don't
this
think it
one.
matters if he's yelling at him or not. Like, If he didn't do it, he wouldn't say that.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Is where I'm at. Because
He wouldn't be like, oh yeah, my entire story about that. Yeah, that was completely different.
like, if
It's
you're
just-
getting yelled at, you're not just gonna scream, "I killed him."
It feels
That's
planned,
basically
one,
what he's-
because of that, saying the affidavit thing, and then it also feels planned, two, because of the gun thing, like, nobody sleeps
Should we
with a
just
gun
call it
under
a
their
day and
pillow.
say he's guilty?
Well,
I think-
we still have witnesses.
So do you think he's guilty now? No, do you think
Okay.
he's guilty
We
now?
still have second and first.
Do you think he's guilty now, though?
I would go to second.
Alright, so now we gotta determine between second and first.
Okay, now
Yeah.
take a vote on
Let-
first or second.
Let's just
Well,
figure out the difference.
Yeah, we need
So-
to
Okay.
look at.
I think
Gage,
one.
where is your, like, where are you thinking that it would only be second degree? What's the,
Well, I
like,
think
sticking-
first we should determine the differences between first and second.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so.
So that he
So they both
because
have
I'm
one,
still a
too.
little bit
So-
confused
yeah.
about it.
So
So one is
definitely-
cause of the death. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely
happened.
cause of death.
Intent to kill. He shot
I-
5 times.
yes,
I'm-
I
Then he, like,
Does everybody agree with
plant-
that?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
agreed that he intended to kill the
Five
person. He
shots,
didn't know.
yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
5 shots.
Alright.
There's
And
two,
then-
intent and cause, both, but then the third part to them.
So
are-
2A on first degree is mental purpose to take another life, or B, aware of conduct was particularly to certain to cause death, or.
He knew he was going to kill him. He
He
shot
knew he
5
was gonna
times.
kill
That's why I think it's first.
Yeah,
I
but
changed
it's
my
the
standing to first
it's the
degree.
first couple of words in the part of it. It says
Okay.
mental purpose.
He knew.
Basically,
He definitely
it's
knew,
saying he
but
knew
he's
that,
mental.
that it was,
He's
Yeah.
the way he's thinking.
5
Close the
shots.
door.
He knew. He knew.
Y'all are obstructing justice.
Literally the worst bailiffs ever.
They didn't even hand us our
Yeah.
what are we
votes.
supposed to do about the first part that we never even filled
I
in?
just like to blank it
I
out.
also-
Yeah, that- no, I
Yeah.
don't
We
think
didn't
she
even
does.
do it.
No, get out of here.
No one can choose. Yeah.
She said try
Just
to keep
because
it
you
under
have a gym
15.
class next.
We're
doesn't mean
almost
you can
done.
rush us.
She literally.
We're almost done.
Okay.
Well, go tell her we need 5
Let
more
us
minutes.
finish.
We need 5 more minutes. I hate.
Okay.
All
Can
right.
we just talk about Barry Allen and how he
Yeah, we
was
should probably.
like walking behind him, but he wasn't
Yeah.
like,
that's-
listening?
Yeah, I
so-
mean, wouldn't you think? Because
If
didn't
he-
Javante say that he was talking very loud? I don't
Yeah,
care how
he
big
said
your
it's
house is. I can hear my.
Especially in
I
a
think
flat.
she-
Like,
I
if he's
think
going
everyone
down.
downstairs
I don't want
watching
to. I don't want
the
to sound
TV.
bad, but like in my house it's a decent size, and I can hear the kitchen from my room.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
I
no
mean,
matter how loud
everybody's
you're
your mom's
talking.
like, dinner's ready.
If you're
Get down.
screaming
Yeah.
at someone,
Yeah, like
there's not murder.
I'm gonna say loud, but you
Like-
can still hear it. So if he says,
Like,
I have a gun.
I have a gun.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
he's gonna be,
I have a gun!
like,
if he yelled it that loud and he still went into his pocket to reach
Yeah.
for something, like
I think it's weird, like, why would he even put his hand in his pocket in the first place, like, supposedly, if he was, like, climbing through a window, like, just put your hand in, like, that doesn't,
Yeah, I
You know
don't
what
get
I
why he
mean?
puts his
Like, I
hand
don't
in
I
his
was just
pocket.
like, wow, my heart's repeating. You guys, like, no.
No, you
I
don't.
don't
I
understand.
understand why this could look like it was like as like a self-defense thing. I understand like how they painted it to be like that, but this seems so planned to me. Like just the
Oh,
way
wait,
it
now we have
was
to
laid
discuss
out.
this part.
with the
Discuss
lights,
like-
with the light
Yeah.
too, they couldn't decide
Alright,
whether
let-
or
let-
not.
let-
Would
Joey.
you, would you
Hey.
legitimately shoot at something if you can like see it? Would you
If
just
you were
randomly
scared.
shoot
Listen,
at
listen.
something?
Each
So-
one
let
time.
him talk.
Guys, so the way they were saying that he went around and checked the locks, right? Locked every window, but the bathroom. Bathroom window wasn't locked, but think of this. He goes there all the time.
Exactly. That's why Covington set him up
Maybe
to
he-
come through this window so it
And then
looks
why were
like
all
it's
the lights off
self-defense.
inside?
Yeah, it's set up.
It seems like a setup now that you've made
You
those
You know what I mean?
points.
No.
He's a paranoid person, locks all the windows. That
Locks
window
every window.
Checks them
Three
3
times
times a day.
excessively.
If
And
you said if
multiple
he checks
people
them
said
3
that.
times, he wouldn't forget that. Maybe he missed it the first time, and then he goes around and checks again. You see, oh, I forgot to lock that one. Lock it.
It seems super shut out to me. So
It-
that's why
now
I
it
believe
does
it's
with
first
those
degree.
Yeah.
I believe it's first degree now.
Yeah.
Let's take a vote, first degree.
First
First
degree.
degree.
All right.
Unanimous.
Who's
What
our
do you
Good
think?
job, gang.
She's the.
Okay.
Good.
Let's make sure you're on focus.
Shh, get out of here. We're almost done.
Is
So
there,
She's
is there like a
assigned
sheet?
the verdict sheet.
All right, yeah, we got a verdict. We're just filling out.
Where's the verdict?
So you're
form
saying
sheet?
verdict, right?
Yeah.
Hey, where's the verdict sheet, brother?
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Well, Mia has to sign.
Yeah, she's got
Yeah.
to take.
First degree.
She has to.
Oh, it's probably for different.
We're running a really tight.
Oh yeah.
We're done.
Where-
Yeah, check it out. Yes. First degree
I'm just
reckless
getting out of school right
homicide,
now, I
second
can
degree
stay for my
assault.
mock trial.
No, it says-
Who should bring the?
Oh wait, no, it says not
should bring the
guilty.
camera?
Alright, I'm
Is guilty.
almost there.
Not guilty, second.
I'll be there in like.
There's
10
no
minutes.
guilty.
Alright.
Wait,
Not
There's
guilty of
supposed